quick little role play. Do you want to come over here for me? This will be natural because we're friends, but I'm glad they gave us permission to say anything because before we start, I do want to tell you all one thing. So before you joined, I'm sure that your recruiter said to you, they're going to book because it's fun and they want free stuff and their friends are going to tell them to. But we also want to tell you, while they do book because it's fun, we're also full of a lot of crap. They book because they like you. So we want them to like you, so we're going to try to teach you how to have a personality. That's the goal. So we're going to show you something, and then we're going to have you do it. You're going to get a minute, and a minute seems quick, but you'll be amazed at how long a minute feels when you do it. So, Tammy, you flew in from Maine today, correct?
Yes, I did.
How long did it take you to get here?
Oh gosh, I started my trip yesterday just to get to the airport, so...
Why?
It's like almost a 4-hour drive to get to the airport.
From your house?
Yeah.
Where do you live in Maine?
On the border of Canada.
Like with the moose?
All the way to the top of the map. Yes, that little... Remember that show, Northern Exposure?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. That is my little hometown. We have to wait for the moose to cross the road.
We have 2 mics. You really have to wait for the moose to cross the road?
Yes, I hit 2.
Oh God, are you okay?
My car wasn't. And my daughter's car when she hit 3.
Do they have driving tests in Maine?
The moose is high. They have no reflection. They just walk.
So, that's terrible. But you're okay.
Oh, yes.
And you made it here.
Yes, I'm doing a few more shows. My insurance went up pretty good.
Okay, good. Okay, so I'm going to stop there. What do you notice that I never did? Anything? Never talked about myself, right? It is the hardest thing to do, but if you can learn how to do it, you will learn so much. If you can have a question, I see nods. If you can have a conversation where you do nothing but ask questions, you will learn so much about the people you're talking to. And so it's a great thing. All these things you've learned about connecting with your customers when you walk in the door and the interactive show. If you can just not talk about yourself, you'll be amazed. So we're going to give you 1 minute to look at the person next to you. If you're on the end, you got to look in. But you're going to get 1 minute. And I want you to... It can be about anything, but whatever they say, you're going to go off for the next question, and don't ever stop asking questions, okay? And then we'll let you switch. So you guys ready? On your marks, get set, go. Thank you, Michael. That's good. Okay, so was that eye-opening for you? Okay, so we challenge you to do that at your next shows. To, as you're talking to people, just do it. And Tammy's going to teach you how to use the information during the party. But like Kathy was saying, when they talk about a product, you go, you were saying this earlier. They've told you so much, and buddy, they feel like you're their best friend because you know their whole life story. And they don't know anything about you, but they love you. So there's your personality tip. All right, Tammy.
Okay, I'm going to ask you guys a question. How many of you want people to email you, text you, Facebook you, call you to get on your calendar? Notice that twist. I'm not calling them. I'm not emailing them. I'm not Facebooking them. I'm not texting them. They're calling me. And my calendar's very full. I am booked for months. So, I turn that around and I recruit them because they see the need for more of me there, right? So anyways, that's what I want to show you. And I can go into the show and I can sell rock crocs and I can sell grill pins all day long because I use them, I love them, and if you don't have them, I don't know, we got to figure this out. But you've got to get into the show. You've got to get into their hearts, and you've got to make the connection first. So before I begin, I have to tell you that if you have your pens poised and you think I'm going to give you a magic formula, I'm probably going to disappoint you. Because my best tip for you is to become extremely good at the art of casual conversation, okay? So if you're not a person that has an outgoing personality, well, you need to practice. And quite honestly, you need to get one. You need to find a personality, borrow one, whatever it takes, but you need one because this business is a people business. And it's all about making connections. And you've heard that one word a lot tonight, making connections. People are going to book with you if they like you. They're going to book with you if they had fun, if they laughed at your show. They want their friends to go to their show and have as much fun as they just did that night. They do not want to invite their friends in if they're going to be bored. They're just not going to do it. Am I boring you over here? She just yawned. I'm just teasing.
Long story. I was on a bus. I've been up for 2 days.
If you aren't laughing, if you're not making relationships with your hosts and your guests and forming friendships, then you're not booking shows. You're not booking the shows. You're not getting them on the calendar. They're not calling you. What Becca and I just role played was a way to interact with it, how we could interact with the guests at the show. And I do this because I'm getting to my show. I don't get to my show really early. I don't have time for all that, but I'm getting there early enough to get set up, get comfortable. I'm talking with my host. I'm making friends with my host. I'm asking her about some of the guests that are coming to the show, and she's telling me things. We're just talking, and we're chit-chatting, and she's telling me everything I need to know right there. And then when the guests get there, we're mingling. Okay, you can put your apron on, leave your apron off. I've heard both ways. I can be me with an apron on just as easy as I can be with an apron off. So I've usually got my apron on and I'm mingling. They know I'm the Pampered Chef lady. I'm not hiding it. The apron's not hidden in a box anywhere. And I'm mingling with them and I'm talking with them. And I'm becoming one of the crowd. If you sit apart, they're going to keep you apart right on through the entire time. So I'm greeting them, I'm making conversations, I'm using this later. I'm using it during the show. Oh, Jenny, you were talking about how you have 3 kids and you're always busy and what a lifesaver that deep cover baker is. Share with us what you told me earlier about that deep cover baker, what you were telling your friends about it. And then they're talking during the show because they're going to sell their friends on these products. You're going to sell yourself, they're going to sell their friends on it, right? During full service checkout, you might recall the guest from earlier in your role play, and you might just say, she sat down, and she didn't put that on the order form. And, just like Kathy said, it's probably a money thing. So you're going to just say, oh, you know what, Becca? I know you really love that deep-covered baker. Let's talk about having a show. Have you thought about doing that? Oh, I really don't have anybody to invite. Well, earlier you told me you were part of Jenny's sorority over here. Look at all those sorority sisters you could invite. And everybody here tonight, they have a list a mile long. They can't possibly get it all tonight. They've already said that. You might as well be the host and invite them all back, right? So you're using this stuff during the show, and you're using it during the full service checkout, and you're forming a friendship, and they don't even realize that they're bonding with you, okay? Now the easiest thing, of course, is to get the bookings at the show, right? By using some of But you're not always going to get the bookings at the show, okay? So you need to use some techniques that you can learn. Like I said, learn that personality. You need to share your business when you're outside of the show as well. When you're at the mall, the grocery store, the bank, the post office, you need to wear that smile and be approachable. So wear the smile just like you're wearing the logo wear. We've all done it, you're in the grocery store, you don't want to talk that day, you're sneaking to the next aisle and you see that person, and get over the next aisle really, really quick. Don't do that. Be approachable, be ready to talk to them. And when you do run into someone, just know them. How's your mom doing? She was at my last show the other night and I know she was a little under the weather. Is she feeling better? That right there makes a connection. Show an honest concern for people and pay a compliment. You could say something like, "Oh my gosh, I love that color on you. That's great." And when I'm running into someone that maybe I'm just a casual acquaintance with, if I already know them, and I've seen them at last 5 shows, they're already groupies. I'm going to say, "Girl, where did you get that purse? That is awesome." And you can talk how you talk, but do use those relatable words that they can relate to you with. I'm going to do one more. I know I need to let Becca get up here. I got just a couple more quick things. And I want to tell you this because when we talked about, Tammy, what gets you the bookings and what gets you that, it is being a relatable person. It is making the connections. But I thought about it too. And I make these connections because of my belief system. And it is firmly in place. If you don't write anything else down, write this down. You have to believe that what you're doing. And I know I have the best job. I know I sell the best products. I know I have the best host program, and I really do. I get the best bridal showers out there. When I can sit down and my bride gets $930 worth of free products, and she just got $2,000 spent on her, she had fun. And I know I have that because I just had a bridal shower recently, and it doesn't compare to Pampered Chef, but nobody felt I needed a Pampered Chef bridal shower. So my daughter says, "Do you think we should do one of those? Just so people don't think you don't do your own Pampered Chef bridal shower?" I'm like, "No, I don't." So anyway, learn your products. Just like Michael said, learn them, love them, believe that they are the best out there because they are. And then you're going to be able to be that relatable person quite easily. One more thing we talked about me doing was, how many of you use this at your shows? Okay, some of you don't like it. I'm on all these Facebook things, and people are like, "Oh, I can't stand that new booking slide. It doesn't tell me anything. I have to make up my own words." I love this new booking slide. This is the best new booking slide ever. I know my picture's on it, but it's still a really cool booking slide. And Becca's picture's on it. She loves this booking slide too. But I stopped using it for a long time. And I noticed my sales, my bookings. I'm used to going away from a show 3 or 4 bookings. And I was only getting just 1 or 2 bookings at a show. And I'm thinking, that's not what pays my bills. So we need to figure out what I'm doing different. And I was going away from my booking slide because quite honestly, I didn't like the old one. It had no color. It had no pictures. I'm a picture person. So I dug this back out and I trained my team to use it. And if you can't have fun with this, then find a way that you can have fun with this. And make it a game. Some people, I do this sometimes. I'll say, "Okay, I'm going to hand you this little Twix-It clip right here, or this little knife, maybe not a knife, Twix-It clip." And every time I say the word host, fun, and consultant, and did I mention fun, you're going to pass that, okay? You're just going to keep that going around. And I'm going to share with you guys why I do what I do. Or I'm going to share with you guys why you need to do, why you might have thought about doing what I do. Or why you might want to host a show. And I just whip this thing out. And I start going right down things. I might say something like, how many of you in here came here tonight thinking that, "Oh, I hope Tammy offers me a job tonight"? How many of you in here, "I hope that I offer you extra spending money tonight"? Okay? It's on here. So you can use that in a fun way, and you can whip this out. You might say, "How many of you are wondering what Susie Q over here is going to get for being a hostess?" Because maybe, I know that at least 2 of you in this room have thought about hosting a show before, right? Okay, you're not going to tell me. That's all right. But since you're not going to talk, I'm going to share with you what, because I know you want to know what you're going to get. And I'll whip that out. But I do it in a fun way, and I'm not embarrassed to say. They can tell when you're embarrassed to pull this out, when you're going, I got something kind of hokey to show you. They know you're not comfortable with it. Your belief system isn't there. So get that out, because that is the one thing that clearly shows. You get, in one flip, you flip out fun, you flip out free, and you flip out friends. And those are what people are looking for. And this breaks down everything they want to know, and you can do it in a fun way. Otherwise, you may not get across that host program the way you should. Okay, Becca?
Okay, all right, so I'm just going to add to a little bit of the host coaching, and it's more of like the philosophy behind host coaching that I think sometimes gets forgotten, and I would like to give you a statement. I'm afraid I'm going to double mic this. I'm going to move one. That will change the way you think about it. So write this down. No, seriously, get your pen or your iPad. Host coaching is how you earn your paycheck, and the show is where you pick it up. Host coaching is how you earn your paycheck, and the show is where you pick it up. Think about it. Once you've gotten to the show, it's too late. Because you know if you're in front of 15 people, you're going to get 2 or 3 bookings. Because everybody's excited, everybody's having a good time, people want the products, you're going to sell them the double burner grill pan, especially after everything you've just learned. But if you only have 5 people in front of you, then you might get 1 booking. You know, 1 person who says, that's expensive, and then they all go, yeah, you're right, that's expensive. You know, so you've got to have the numbers in front of you, and so everything you get from your show, your future bookings, your recruit leads, your sales, all leads, happens before you get there. So you've got to keep that in mind. And so think about if there's something in your show that you're disappointed with now, what are you doing and what are you not doing? That's what you want to change. What can you do differently ahead of time? And while it might be 1 show for you this week, it might be 5 shows for you. You might have 5 this month, you might have 10, you might have 15, however many you're doing. Your host, it's her one and only party, or his one and only party, that he's going to have for the whole month, the whole year, sometimes every 6 months if you're lucky, right? That they'll rebook with you when the new catalog comes out. But for the most part, a great host is going to book annually, right? So if you don't give them a good show, are they going to book with you again? No. But you might have 12 you're dealing with this month. So you think, well, I don't really have time for that. Well, you do, because that's your future business. So you owe it to your host to make it the best party possible. They need to feel like they are your one and only, even if they're your one of 12. They've got to feel like you're their one and only, because host coaching is vital. Ooh, I got claps on that. Okay, so one thing that I, kind of a pet peeve, is people say, oh, I need to be better at host coaching. Have you ever said that? I need to be better at that. And I think that we put in our mind, just like recruiting, that it's something that we have to do. And it's not really something we have to do, it is what we do. Because your show is the heart of the business. So if you don't have shows, you don't have business. So it is your job, it's not part of your job. Now, I think you should be a student of your business. And I'm the nerd that if I get anything new, I read the manual before I use it. I got a toaster last week because I dropped mine. I read the manual before I used the toaster, I swear. Like, I know you push the button and it comes back up, but I just wanted to read it to make sure. There wasn't anything special I needed to do. And like, we got a new deep freezer this weekend, because you know, these freezer meal workshops, I gotta have somewhere to put them all. So I got a deep freezer, and so I read the manual before any food went in it. But I realize not everybody's like that, but you've got to be that way with your business. You've got to read what's available to you. Grace, don't laugh at me, but it's a true story. So be a student of your business, learn as much as you can, and be good at what you do. But the entire business that we have is built on relationships, just like we've talked about all night. So if you're not getting to know your host at every level and getting to know your guests, you're missing out on a really key aspect of it. So definitely put some thought there. As far as the system goes, I think you've heard a few different ways, but I would just encourage you, whatever you're doing, find a system that works for you. You know, doing text doesn't work for everybody. Mailing might not work for everybody. Calling someone on the phone who never answers their phone is not going to work for everybody. You've got to find something that works for everybody you're working with. So whatever it is, find a system that you can use and that you can teach your people to use, because they're going to look to you to see, well, how do I do that? And so make it simple. Pampered Chef provides us a great little 3-call system. I think the forms are a little wordy, but if you're not doing anything at all, it's a great place to start. You know, do something and try it. Don't knock it until you try it. Personally, I use a program called Evernote. If you're friends with me, I know Sharon's over there having a moment going, no, Evernote. But it's like a virtual notebook system. Go to evernote.com, reading my notes from it now. It's changed my business as far as getting organized. And make sure you're in two-way communication with your host at all time, whatever that is. And so the last thing I just want to say, because I know we're running short, I want to cut it for you. You've heard of lots so far tonight. And there's been recognition for excellence awards and new directors and new consultants and everything. And you might be sitting there feeling like you're not as successful as somebody sitting next to you. And so I just want to encourage you that success isn't always based on results. You doing the action is going to make you successful. And it takes a lot of doing of actions to get you there to be successful. And so recruiting, you're not a successful recruiter because you sign someone up. You're a successful recruiter because you ask everyone. You know, they said John has the best ask in the business. I love that. He's not a successful recruiter because he signed up and promoted for directors. Yeah, that's great. But he did a lot of work to ask every single person, and that is what made him successful. So don't feel like you're not as successful as someone else. Realize that you got to put the work in and you will be successful along the way. So I just want to encourage you with that. Okay?
Okay, stand up just for a second. Stand up.
Stretch.